Hey everybody, Ed here with the Digital Digest, and today I wanted to give you guys some initial impressions of a device that really I'm shocked hasn't been covered at all. And this device is the Motorola Bluetooth Smart Controller. And what you're looking at here for a little under $100 from Verizon as well as Amazon is a Bluetooth remote control that you can use whenever your phone is docked in its HD dock or in its Lapdock. At least that's what its claim is. And basically this remote control gives you a multi-touch touchpad here that is also clickable, so you can use it to select as well as a host of hard buttons that you would expect from any Android controller, such as search, back, home, and settings. Now the really interesting part, beyond just giving you the ability to do remote control, essentially to have remote control of your Webtop enabled phone when it's either in the lap dock or connected to a monitor through an HD dock, is that if you get a phone call, this has always been the issue, how do you take the call? Do you have a Bluetooth headset sitting there waiting? Do you have a regular headset wired connected to the phone, or do you run over to the phone? I mean, there's a whole host of ways to deal with that, but they're all kind of ridiculous. But here, not only are you getting a Bluetooth remote, but then you also have a Bluetooth handset. So when that call comes in, you can go ahead and hit this phone button here, and then you're actually using a phone. There's your earpiece, your microphone, you put this to your head, you're taking your call. There is a rechargeable lithium battery in here. You charge it, of course, with the USB port right there. LED light there for basically letting you know whether or not the device is syncing or it has synced. Also whether it's charging or it's finished charging. Fairly standard stuff. But more importantly, of course, you do have dedicated volume rocker as well as mute button right there. So, really interesting device, first of its kind, doubling as a remote control, but also a handset, essentially, Bluetooth handset. It'll be interesting to see what kind of battery life it gets. Motorola was pretty vague on battery life here, as well as compatibility, because they do claim that it'll work with a whole host of phones as long as they're Bluetooth compatible. I assume they're talking about at least the being a handset, a phone receiver, to actually buffer or use while your phone is charging, etc. That should work. But of course, these functions, maybe some of the Android buttons will work, but I highly doubt that you're going to be able to use the multi-touch touchpad here with anything other than a Motorola Webtop branded phone. So it'll be interesting to give you guys full impressions of this device. I really like what it brings to the table. Very creative, a smart device, and fittingly is called a smart controller, which makes sense. So again, I think the only drawback, other than what possibly could be battery life, is of course the price point. $100 is pretty steep for a device. Probably would like to see something like this more around a $30 price point. But again, if they figure if you can afford all the other accessories that you've purchased for this device, why would you stop here, I guess, is their logic. After all, the devices are pretty pricey. HD dock is $100, the lap docks are $200 and up. So if you've already spent that much, God knows what else you've spent on this phone. So whether it's the Razr or the Bionic, at least for Verizon right now, and of course the Droid 4 that's on its way. But a really unique device, really like what Motorola is proposing. I really hope that it works out. So looking forward to giving you guys further impressions. If you guys have any questions or comments, please feel free to post them. And of course, as usual, please feel free to subscribe. Later.